So for the past couple of months, I've actually really been wanting to start going back into the Beatles music discography and talking about their music on the channel, doing breakdowns and reactions to them. But it's just something I never really took the step into. And I feel like this song is the perfect opportunity for me to kind of jump right in. I'm excited because the Beatles are one of the, I would say, most iconic music groups of all time. I say one of the, but I really kind of cohesively put them as like together, meaning in a musicianship, in the sense of like the household name, the Beatles, would be, I would say, just up there with like Mozart and Beethoven, and like there's not many other names in the music that have lasted so long in the music industry and will likely continue to last in the music industry. So it's incredible the influence that they've had on the music industry as a whole, influence they've had on music and songwriting as a whole, and the musicality of things and how musicians work. So many things, the influence that they've had. So I'm really looking forward to actually going into this. So today, obviously, we have Beatles Now and Then. If you're not super familiar with, I'm sure you are, but if you're not super familiar with how they did this, it's essentially, to my understanding, and my brief understanding of it, is essentially they had a demo for John Lennon, and they used AI to essentially deconstruct the demo so that they could build it back up. That's my understanding. Let's see what we got. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jacob Restituto. I'm a musician from Northport, New York. If you're not new to the channel, thank you so much for coming back. Let's see what we got. A nice stereo sound.
One, two, three.
Come on.
I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because.
Oh man. Okay. There's a lot to talk about that I want to talk about here. So right off the bat, the musicality sounds phenomenal. I mean, like, what are you gonna expect anything less? But I could see how I was like essentially doing a little bit of research before I filmed this, just kind of very briefly looking at a couple other people's videos that they had posted about this. I hadn't actually heard the song. I was just kind of seeing what they were, what people were saying about it in general. And I could see some people started to get emotional. I'm not super well versed into the Beatles world, but if as somebody that if I was a huge Beatles fan, and it's like, I could see the emotional aspect of, like, first of all, it almost seems like it's reminiscing back into the past of what, how they started and stuff. I mean, we're just a minute in, but and then to kind of expand on that and be like, well, this is the whole, I assume it's gonna go like when we started to now this being our final song. I could see the emotion that behind that, especially for the finality of it. For example, one of my favorite groups just maybe about 2 years ago announced that they were essentially splitting up and saying that their time as a band is, after 15, 20 years is coming to an end. And it was like, there was a pretty deep sadness of like, oh man, like, there will never be another album by them. And that really made me sad because I really enjoyed their music. I will never have the opportunity to see them on tour again. Whatever the case, right? And I absolutely relate to those feelings here with the Beatles. Only them being that much more iconic and having that much more of a fan base. Let's talk musicality. We have acoustic guitars, very kind of thinner sounding acoustics, very full piano sound, which was cool. And the contrast between, obviously we have some vocals coming in right now. Hold on a sec, do we have layered vocals?
It's all because of you.
Oh, okay, just in this section.
And now and then, if we must start again, well, we will know for sure that
It's a cool melody.
will love you. Now and then, I miss you.
Oh wow. All right, I'm gonna. This is crazy too because like, Now and Then I Miss You, written by John Lennon, almost as a tribute. Seems like almost as a tribute back to him, which is wild. Like using his own lyrics and then re-recording them essentially to say, "Hey, we miss you," is actually pretty incredible. Musically, it sounds phenomenal. Like Ringo's drumming sounds like it's a little gritty, and I like that. It's pretty driven behind the music, which is really cool. I actually want to rewind and talk a little more about the harmonies. But like, so even with the way he's riding the cymbal, it's pretty heavy and driven, which is cool. I really like that. They have super distinct voices. They have their whole music in general has a specific sound. And now we're starting to introduce. It sounds like some sort of strings. Yeah. That's crazy.
I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if you go away, I know you'll never.
The videography in here is very interesting in the sense of like, obviously not all the members are there. Some had passed away many years ago, or half of them essentially had passed away. So I understand that some of them obviously aren't there, but like even like Paul kind of looks like he's on a green screen. So I'm a little confused by that. Is this actual footage of him, or is this... Because it seems a little awkward, some of these movements, that I'm a little confused by. But what a cool concept. Like, that's the beauty of music, because you're able to take a song, and songs just can have the opportunity to live forever. I mean, when did John die? Like, was it the 80s? Was it that late, or was it earlier in the 80s? Even say it was the 80s, right? 40 years ago, and the song's been doing nothing for 40 years, and now it has the opportunity to come back to life, and that's the beauty of music. It's so cool. It's crazy. Yeah, they had some style back then. Back to layer vocals.
It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you.
It actually almost to some degree kind of sounds like it could be a message to like the fans too. Like, and if I make it through, it's because of you. Very much almost has like this like I'm speaking to the fan group, which is it's the multiple meanings behind this is actually. Guitar sounds great. Oh, that's crazy. The final bell fading out. Wow, that's crazy. And the lights turning off. That is crazy. Yeah, man, what a wild like summation to end the Beatles music. That I mean, that whole concept did give me chills. They gave me chills. It's pretty crazy, man. You know, as a musician, like every musician, whether you're into their music or not, there is some sort of respect that you have towards their music, just because of how the influence that they've had on the music industry in general, and other musicians, and the influence that they've had is incredible. So what a wild song. What a I the whole AI debate is a very interesting thing, where it's like, should you be touching music that necessarily never ended up getting finished? I don't know the answer to that, but it is cool that we have the ability to, and something beautiful was still made from it. So like, what's the harm in that? I don't know. But I do understand the other side of the sentiment. But this is beautiful. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing more Beatles stuff here on the channel. Again, my name is Jacob Restituto, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless and peace out.